They also announced today that Marvel Snap is going to be leaning heavily into cosmetics for its monetization moving forward, which means that this is easily one of the most free-to-play card games in existence. It might honestly, with them leaning into cosmetics more, it might even be comparable to Runeterra in terms of how free-to-play friendly it is. All right, let's run through the basics for folks that are new and hanging out. If you're checking out Snap today, the base rules of Marvel Snap are super straightforward. There are 3 locations in the center of the board here that turn over on the first 3 turns. The goal is to have the most power at 2 of the 3 locations after 6 turns has passed. Your cards have a mana cost top left and a power they add to a location top right. And then they have various rules text. So Hood here is a sweet one. Hood is a 1 mana card that gives -2 power, but it creates a 1 mana 6 power card. This deck that I'm playing for, I affectionately refer to as Have Some Crap, because it plays lots of cards that screw with my opponent's side of the board. Like Viper here donates a random card at her location to my opponent. So we'll follow up this Hood. This is one of this deck's best 1-2 curves here with Viper to kick this over. You'll note I have this picture of a deck below me here. One of the things that's very unique about Snap is the deck sizes. All card decks in Marvel Snap are 12 card singleton, which you see 9 cards out of over the course of the 6 turns that you're playing. One of the things that I think is really innovative and interesting about Snap is the fact that a lot of the variance in this game comes from the locations that flip up here. There's a pool of about 60 locations currently. Green Goblin, another card that gives my opponent some bad beats. On reveal, gives my opponent control of this. So we're going to try and sneak this into the middle and see if we can make their Nexus be really bad. There is a little bit of risk here, though. You can only play 4 cards per location. So if my opponent plays out 2 cards into the Nexus here, my Green Goblin will not be able to flip over. I'm going to go ahead and snap here as well, which is one of the mechanically unique things about Snap. Afternoon, Allah. Thanks for dropping in today. The snap mechanic is how many ladder points a game of Snap is worth. So now that my opponent has stayed in after I've snapped here, this match is now worth at least 2 ladder points, meaning whoever wins is getting at least 2 and whoever loses is losing 2. My opponent can also snap over the course of a game. And on the last turn, the stakes naturally double. At any point, if your opponent snaps, you can retreat to not let the points double up. So there's a betting / push your luck style interaction here. This is actually a pretty sweet turn 4 as well here. So Black Widow gives my opponent a Widow's Bite, which says they can't draw a card, so it denies one of their card draws. And Beast is going to pick my Widow back up here immediately. So I'm actually going to deny my opponent their last 2 draws this game. And yeah, the fact that I filled in the Nexus with a bunch of crap here is so good for us. Hey, thanks for the sub, Gifty Beetle. Appreciate it. Okay, Mysterio is a really fun card. So Mysterio says here, the real Mysterio has 5 power. So we don't know which of these 2 is the real Mysterio until the end of the game. So there's a little bit of guesswork there. With Spider-Woman here, we're almost assuredly winning the Nexus. Because Spider-Woman, on reveal, gives -4 power to everything on my opponent's side. So she's going to be an 11-point swing for 5 resources here. And we're going to save her for the last turn of the game so my opponent doesn't know it's coming. And I think we'll go ahead and do this. We'll Black Widow, we'll Korg, we'll Carnage, all here into DC. Chat, if you're a Magic player, I have to warn you because it's only fair. You will play way less Magic after you touch Marvel Snap. It's just Such an incredibly good game. Now, my opponent has a decision to make, chat. You see how this says final 4 for the cubes? If my opponent doesn't retreat here, this game becomes worth 4 ladder points as opposed to 2. So we're staying in here because this Spider Woman is about to crunch this Nexus along with our demon. Whoa! Wow, get rinsed. Holy crap. They got us. That was really... Yep. Slick play. I'll pull up their card here in a second, but we got. Yeah, so Arrow, very powerful, disruptive effect here. On reveal, pulls all cards I played over to this location. It's also worth noting here, no, that doesn't matter because they're killer. Yeah, just super strong here. So I was waiting to play into the Nexus on the last turn, and my opponent read that and punished us with Arrow, disrupting our play. Ton of really good, meaningful back and forth and snap and stuff like that. Game Time Chums, thanks for the brand new Prime. We're gonna be doing a ton of snap here. We're gonna be snapping every single morning on Twitch this week, starting at 10 a.m. Central, and then in the evenings as well. If you're someone that watches stuff over on YouTube, on my Snap YouTube channel, we are doing some live streams in the evenings this week as well. Put that one in the stream title for folks. Nerd Cred, thanks for the Prime. I really appreciate the support for the Snap stuff, folks. For people that aren't familiar with my stuff, I stream full-time here on Twitch, and I would absolutely love to have Marvel Snap be a bigger part of the content that I make here, but the metrics got to be there to back it up. But I'm hoping there's big things for this game, chat. I think there's a lot of potential here. Do I want to Korg into the Nexus? I don't really, right? I want to put bigger cards into here. Woohoo! Giant piles of sub-gifties. Speaking of, Forever, thank you for the 5, and BTYish, thank you for the 10. Let's Korg to start. Korg puts a rock into my opponent's deck. And unlike, in a game like Magic where there's a 60-card deck, putting 1 rock into my opponent's, 9-card deck or 8-card deck means they're really likely to draw that and brick a draw. Okay, so they put a copy of Hood here. Echoplex! You all, Hoaglandia is too absurd. Thank you. Good vibes. Snap is always full of good vibes. Let's Widow them here on 2, I think. Widow does give them a free Widow's Bite to maybe eat with a Carnage here down the line, but we'll see. Any tips for a new Snap player coming from Magic? Yeah, learn to use the Snap mechanic to your advantage, and don't be afraid of retreating. The key to climbing on the ladder in this game is being able to retreat when it makes sense to retreat. The cube system is basically this location was bad for me, this hand is bad. Think of it as a mulligan. Having your losses be 1 cubes and your wins be 2, 4, and 8 cubes is so powerful. I think I want a debris here. We'll put some rocks into all the other locations, so we have Carnage to eat the rocks here. There is no Twitch extension for this game currently, unfortunately. If you type ! card name in chat, most of the cards have a command. I think we try and Green Goblin them in the Nexus along with this, because worst case, if they fill this turn, which I think is unlikely, we can Carnage to clear our Green Goblin after. I think I'm also going to Snap going into this as well. And this is what we were talking about earlier. I snapped, and my opponent said, okay, I think I'm losing this game, and they retreated rather than letting the cube system double up. If you're familiar with heads-up poker at all, the cube system feels like heads-up poker in a way that's really sweet, and in a way that doesn't require me to constantly be betting real money. Is the Nexus a feature location? I don't think so. I think it just happened twice in a row. Oh yeah, chat, if you need an extra incentive to start Snap sooner rather than later, there's 7 days of freebies if you install today and this week for global launch. So get in and get some free extra stuff. think Magic's still pretty good. I had Magic in my top 5 cards list still. I think she's super reasonable. This archetype overall still. Let's play Iceman out. Disruptive card here. Gives a card my opponent's hand +1. Thanks for the follows for folks coming in from the snap section, by the way. Welcome, welcome. The snap mechanic also mitigates what a lot of other card games have that I often refer to as garbage time, because when you push with a snap, if you're in garbage time, the opponent just bounces out, which feels good as well. I don't know about this snap game. It's unrelated, but I've also got nothing done at work today. You want to put Iceman and Black Widow in the same path here. Not only do we not want to play into Dark Dimension because we want her on reveal right away, but putting all my disruptive cards in the same spot means if I draw a copy of Beast, we can reset all of them and redeploy them for more disruption. Yes, they rolled back the disastrous monetization they were originally intending to have with Nexus events, and they actually had a post today from one of their devs, Cosmetic, saying that they were going to be leaning into cosmetics as more of a way for monetization. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Socio. What did we replace Falco with? Or you're thinking of a different deck, Benzie. We'll probably play some of that today too, but there's a dedicated Beast Bounce deck, I usually refer to it as, that plays Falcon. We're gonna play a few different things today. I got like over a dozen different decks loaded up that I think are all reasonable. Yeah, the beast slide I think is also one that's great for showcasing the wide range of gameplay in this game, because the sequencing decisions in that deck just run so deep. I love the mouse over effects these things have. Pull 2 decks. If you're someone coming in and giving Snap a try and you're going to be playing with it and you're looking for decks that are good to build when you're just starting out, there are a number of decks in my starter series up on my YouTube channel. No, upgrade your cards right away. Upgrading your cards progresses your account level, which in turn gets you more cards. Shuffle our hand back in. Do I want to eat the Iceman, or do I want to Carnage here in the dark and keep the Iceman to bounce with bees? I think I'm just going to Carnage the Iceman here. Yes, and upgrades are just cosmetic upgrades. When you hear me say upgrade a card, that's not upgrading the power level of a card. It is simply changing the appearance of it. So like, to give you an example, this card has all of the cosmetics upgrades. It is infinite. And this card just has a 3D pop or a border break on it. Maybe it's 3D? No, it's definitely 3D too. Let's Green Goblin mill. And honestly, I think I'm going to snap that with Green Goblin in the middle here. Green Goblin does not love to drink at the bar because he'll flip to the opponent's side and then have them be winning, right? Is a hood or a storm? Patty beef. Sting. Nope. Well, I can do this now, right? Whoever has the least power here wins. So if I Korg and then kick Korg over, we're still winning here. This Sunspot might actually be kind of tough to beat. We kind of need to draw Doc Ock or Spider-Woman. Yeah, I think we debris into Death's Domain to try and fill the last spot here before the 6th turn. Does Doc Ock do it? So this is gonna gain 6 energy, which puts them to 17. And Doc Ock is 10, which means I'm 15 to 17, but I'm winning the tiebreaker here by 3, right? So if you're each winning 1 location, it's total difference? Magic is grayed out because she can no longer be played on the 6th turn. She was changed from her original beta iteration. I think this wins, right? 15 to 17, and then up by 3, they're up by 2. How does total power tiebreaker work with bar with him? I think it works how I want it to work here. We're up by 3 in bar with no name, and they'd be up by 2 in Adelan. I believe it's saying total power is a verbal shortcut. It's technically difference in power at the locations. Yeah, it's who's ever winning the locations by the most, essentially. These are the missions. People asking about the battle pass, chat. You could definitely still, if you're coming in today, complete the whole battle pass. The bulk of battle pass progress that you do will be from these things that flip up, and you can see here the rest of chapter 3 is not up, and there's a chapter 4 and a chapter 5 as well. Why I'm in the 60s. I was not infinite last season. I was infinite 2 seasons ago, I think. I think I hit it 2 of the 4 months we were in closed beta. I don't remember. I don't really care about my rank. For people that are new to the stream, we're not a try-hard stream here, chat. We're a play games for fun stream. All right, we can't play 1, 2, or 3 drops into the Crimson Cosmos, so we'll drop a Korg here. Ooh, we drew a copy of Beast here as well. Okay, and we've got a debris. So what I want to do here, I think I'm gonna want to beast the debris back, and then the question becomes, do I want to beast back the hood or beast back the Iceman? I don't know that I'm gonna have time. Well, I guess beast makes my drops cheaper, right? So maybe that's fine. And maybe I'm not gonna have enough space to deploy it. It's close. Whatever I'm playing mid, I'm gonna be beasting back up, I think. So let's do hood. We'll see how this goes. So debris drops some rocks into every other location. They're probably a Killmonger deck, right? We could Doc Ock them, chat. I kind of don't hate the Doc Ock mid. Opponent snapped. I think I'm gonna play Go Fish here. And I'm gonna stay in. Yeah, Doc Ock mid could brick their last turn for sure. Okay, we're losing right. So we're losing right, but we're winning mid. The question is, can Spider-Woman win left? I think there's a chance she can, right? Oh, wait, we're gonna be able to play into the vault on the last turn, actually, right? Because this is only closed on exactly 6? Okay, yeah. Okay, and now we actually get to Viper into Spider-Woman is less than Carnage into Spider-Woman, right? Because, well, it's the same unless they play 2 cards here. Oh my god, it's so much worse against Captain Marvel. Crap. Are we still good? No, because it's the real Mysterio. Damn it. That would have been so good. That was not, this is a card I should have been thinking about. She's really powerful. At the end of the game, if she can move to win the game, they win the game. I'm here to beg forgiveness. I'm streaming Marvel Snap today, and I mimicked my overlay to look like yours. I'm glad to hear it, Day9. I'm super excited to hear you're playing some Snap as well. This game is so good. Chat, you're probably already following Day9, but if you're not, go give him a follow. Again, honestly, games like this type of game really highlights what I love about this game. There's so many games of Marvel Snap where I look back on it, it's like, oh, if I sequence in this decision, I could have had a different permutation this game. Just the amount of player agency, this game has inside of the small turn count is so incredible. It's so satisfying to play. You poked at Unite too, Sean? We should totally play sometime. Probably not this week, because I'm playing an unhealthy amount of Snap this week, but... Okay, this highlights... Let's highlight the card acquisition system here for a second, and how creasing cosmetics work. So this card just got boosters, which I then added credits to change the border on it. And this card actually now happens to be the highest cosmetic tier, which is infinite. So not only does that happen, where it now progresses my account level to give me prizes, and if you're someone that doesn't have a full collection, I have a full collection, you get cards, or later on these reserves can have cards in them, but they also have cosmetics things like avatars and stuff like that. But now, once it's infinite, you're not done upgrading the card. So let's go into my deck editor here and grab Viper. So Viper, once your card hits infinite, you get to split it into varying other effects. So you can see the background becomes rainbow here. And if I let's pull up another card I have that I have a few splits on. So Chavez is a card I have a few splits on. So I have a Chavez with the triangle background. That's the base one. That's a gold one. Maybe Chavez actually isn't a good example because her background's kind of gold by default. Where's my Iron Man? I have a couple. Clear these and show Iron Man. If I can type. Is Iron Man 2 words? It is. Okay, so this is the base Iron Man. And then some of them have extra effects like these swirl effects that play around it. And then there's different like triangle variants. There's also some monochromatic variations as well that look really sweet. I actually don't have any of those yet. Speaking of variants, a lot of sweet alt arts in this game. That's a phenomenal cable. Actually, don't think I had a cable alter. No, sweet. That's my first cable variant. You see here, they start inside of their frame, and then they break the frame. And you get a little bit of progress. And then this one adds a 3D effect when I upgrade it. And I already have boosters on a lot of my cards because I've played with a lot of the cards in the game at this point. 3D. Yeah, I like that one. So, sorry, someone in chat, if you're still here, has asked a couple of times, do I think this game's gonna do well globally? I don't know is the answer. Like, predicting the future is tough, chat. The games market is a tough one to break into. That being said, I think Snap's one of the best new card games I've touched in a long time. I think it ticks a lot of boxes. I think it fixes a lot of the feel-bad problems other card games have. I think it's very satisfying to play at a lot of levels, and I hope it's successful. All right, we've got a sweet 3-turn curve here to start. We've got Korg on 1 to give him a Rockus disruption. We've got Black Widow to deny him a draw. And we've got Beast to pick these up and do it again. Now, we can't play into the Hellfire Club because 1-cost cards can't be played here. So we'll play to this face-down location. Hopefully it's something that's not too bad for us. Yes, the quality of the cards is purely cosmetic. All of those upgrade things you saw me talk about there, they don't impact the power level of the cards at all. Ridiculous Hat, thank you for the prime. Good podcasting with you last night. Did anything change on launch? Not in terms of card acquisition or monetization. They did announce that they will be leaning into the season pass and cosmetics for primary monetization moving forward, though. Oh, that's a rough beat. Well, shoot. They also got a card they'd rather not have come into play here, but it's sad that I won't be able to beast these back up into my hands here. And again, this is the big thing about Snap that I think is a good thing. The decks in this game are hyper consistent because you see 75% of them every single game, and the locations are what provide the key variance. And this lets Snap have super satisfying deck building. If you're someone that loves building decks in card games, the deck building experience in Marvel Snap is so much more satisfying than any other card game I've ever played because your decisions matter so much here. When you make a 1-card change in your 12-card deck, you're gonna feel it in a few games. All right, new cards coming soon. I have no idea, chat. I am just a fan of Marvel Snap like the rest of you. I do not have any insider information. All right, we've got a debris here. Where do we want to put rocks? So if I can play debris here and put rocks here and here, they can't currently play into Scar. So debris kicking rocks into both of these locations sounds kind of appealing. I think I'm gonna debris right and then snap them here. I think we're in a good spot. There are a lot of unreleased cards in the client already, and there's even more that have been data mined. Typhoid Mary, all right. So I'll bet they have an Enchantress for this location here, which actually means I'm gonna go ahead and Doc Ock here. So that way if they don't Enchantress exactly this turn, they lose this here. Well, do I want to Doc Ock there, or do I just Doc Ock middle where Cosmo is blocking him? So Doc Ock grabs cards from the opponent's hand to fill their location, but he's got a ton of stats here. If they Enchantress here, they'll have a total of 14 power, minus 3 is 11, which means my Doc Ock is not winning the Hellfire Club. I think it might actually be better to just Doc Ock mid and then plan to Spider-Woman Iceman right, and then we win center and right? It could be Venom. Yeah, I think we play Doc Ock mid and then plan to win mid plus right here. Is my plan. My favorite card, thanks for the biddies, Cozy Gamer. I think Captain Marvel's probably my favorite card. She's really, really powerful and fun effect. If they have 11 or more power, we lose middle here. We do beat Red Skull, that's true. They could have Destroyer though. We lose to Destroyer. If you link your Google account to your Marvel Snap account, you can play your same account everywhere. Just a Sunspot. We beat Sunspot, shit. Sweet. And we have the most power in the center and on the right, so we win the game.
Victory.
So at a minimum, people asking about new cards. We get a new card with the season pass every month, and this current season pass does have 2.5 weeks left on it. So at the end of this, here, we'll have a new. Or where's the actual season pass day? There's almost 3 weeks left on the season pass. 2 weeks and 6 days. So at a minimum, we'll be getting a new card in 3 weeks. And then Marvel Snap has said their eventual goal is no big set releases. They're going to try and release 1 new card per week, which I think sounds like a sweet model because it'll keep a constant drip of new interesting stuff coming into the game. Mindscape. At the end of turn 6, swap hands. Okay, so we want to play all our important stuff out before that happens. And honestly, chat, my opening hand is so good here that I'm going to snap them. We have Hood into Black Widow, disrupt them, into Iceman plus Beast on 3. Pick all 3 of these up and do it again. Is there no battle pass you can purchase game? I didn't see one. So when you're first starting out, there is a completely free recruit pass that you have to complete before you can pick up the paid pass. But you'll blow through the recruit pass real quick. Someone asked if I'm playing on the Steam client. I am currently still playing on the BlueStacks client because I was up till 1 a.m. last night editing the content on the Snap YouTube channel that went up today. So I'm gonna try and get the Steam client set up for my YouTube live stream tonight, but we'll see. It runs well enough on BlueStacks. Yeah, this is still the mobile version being emulated. Hey, Nerd Girl, glad to see you in chat. Hope you check it out. Game's great. Okay, and Beast also makes all of these things cheaper too, which is great. So I get to replay them back out. So we actually just get to play, what, 5 cards this turn? And again, I don't know where the real Mysterio is, but the real Mysterio is probably not left because it looks like they're setting up to destroy their stuff on the left for value. So either of these could be the real Mysterio. So I think I'm going to play into the vaults here and maybe punt the Wakandan embassy. Actually, am I not playing Hood? I think I'm not playing Hood out because my next turn I actually want to play a 5-drop, which means before Mindscape happens, I'm gonna pass them my D-Man. No, I'm gonna Doc Ock them next turn, Gap. No, I'm not giving them my Doc Ock. So Doc Ock pulls 4 random cards from my opponent to the location, filling the space up, and they have 3 cards in their hand. So all of their cards are about to fill here. Yeah, they're actually retreating. All right, let's swap decks and showcase a little bit of the range that Snap has to offer. What do we want to do? Let's do something that's very different. I like Cerebro 5 last time we played it. Let's do that. We'll play one of the starter series decks a little bit later. I want to play some of the other region things first. Yeah, I think Cerebro 5 is very powerful. So Cerebro is a sweet build-around card. So you see below me, it costs 3 mana and has 0 power. But its effect is that it gives every card on my game board that has the same power. It gives every one of my highest power cards in play +2 attack. So this deck's called Cerebro 5 because everything in the deck has 5 power almost, so Cerebro can power them all up. We have our own Mysterio here, who we will play into the center. So when we play Mysterio, he's going to play out clones left and right. Yes, total power across all locations, Trico. This is every one of my top 5 cards in it. It does, doesn't it? Which is probably one of the reasons why it's so good. I actually didn't realize that when we picked it up this morning. Okay, so Adelan is about to pop off and shuffle our hands back in and redraw. Honestly, I think I'm going to put Polaris into play, and I'm going to snap them here before they see their new hand, because we have stuff in play and they don't, so I think we're ahead. So my opponent doesn't get to know which of these Mysterios is the real one. We know that the acorn or whatever you want to call it is under the middle one here. Ooh, okay. And they have a card that interacts with the location. So Storm here floods a location. So this is the last turn cards can be played here. Oh, I did mention wanting to try Deathlock. Yeah, I'll make that swap after we're done Y-Sticks. I appreciate the reminder. I think 10 power probably wins the flooded zone, and Dr. Doom's gonna be able to cheat some Doom bots into the flooded layer. So I'm gonna play Miles to the right here. There's our key card in Cerebro. So I'm going to go ahead and play Magic into Stark Tower. Very powerful effect. So she creates Limbo where you play her out. And Limbo adds a 7th turn to the game. So kind of fundamentally changes the rules of Snap. We'll play Dr. Doom here on the... Actually, I probably want Dr. Doom to be a surprise, right? So I'm going to play him into the Dark Dimension. Huh? Does this work how I want it to work? I think she copies Cerebro still, right? So Cerebro is an ongoing effect, and then Mystique copies the last card played. I'm pretty sure this counts as being played the previous turn. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure this works how I want it to work. I'm pretty sure Mystique copies Cerebro here. So copy the last card revealed on the right. Let's find out. Chat seems pretty certain. I think we're winning here regardless, it looks like. No target. Okay, so chat was correct there. We still win though. Okay, so we should have played Lizard here then. But that's fine. My opponent's leader here, pretty powerful 6-drop in a lot of places, copies all cards your opponent plays the turn he flips up, but we played our synergy cards in the last turn, so them getting a copy of our Cerebro, not really a big deal. Leader is very good against synergy-based decks, or is very good against raw power decks. It's very bad against synergy-based decks. Oh, Deathlock. Yeah. Thank you. Iron Man was a little whelming last time we played this deck. I think if Sarah's the only card you're missing out of this deck, you can play it without her. She's definitely replacement level here. She's just here because she's a good 5. There are not enough 0 power cards to play Cerebro 0 yet. Eventually, though. Cerebro as a build-around card is just like one of those types of effects that's just going to get drastically better the more cards that get added to this game, right? The opponent is setting up to destroy things here on the left, it looks like. When Bucky Barnes gets destroyed, he leaves behind a 6 power thing. Let's go ahead and, I think I'm gonna wave this turn so we can Sarah next turn. So Sarah makes all my other cards cost 1 less, which sounds great for next turn. Might be right to Sarah the Nexus, actually. I'm surprised they destroyed with their demon. I guess they weren't expecting, they didn't know my wave was coming.
Opponent snapped.
So, I don't have Mystique and I don't have Cerebro here, which are my 2 kind of big payoffs. I could magic the Nexus and play for the rest of these, that's true. What if we do this? Do we think we can win? Maybe? Doombot's pretty good. Let's try it. Magic does give us 2 more draws as well. Sweet, and they went in on the Nexus harder here. Yeah, I think with turning this to Limbo, we've got a real shot here. It is awkward that Crimson Cosmos is making... Nah, I think we should have retreated, right? How do I win Crimson Cosmos? I guess I can do this to pull their Winter Soldier into the middle. And then I Spider-Man, and then we Doctor Doom on the last turn. And we hope that 18 wins here. Yeah, I think this might actually be fine. Okay, let's do that. Oh, that sucks. We're gonna coin flip now. Wait. Oh my gosh. She can't grab Colossus. So Colossus can't be moved. And Polaris grabs a random 1 or 2, so I was hoping to grab Winter Soldier and drag his ass over. But I can't Cerebro and Mystique because of Crimson Cosmos here. And I can only put 5 more power into here, so rather than losing 4 cubes, I'm going to opt to retreat and only lose 2. And honestly, I think we probably should have retreated when my opponent snapped this game and only lose 1. I think was probably what should have happened there. Yes, the person's asking about there was a 7th turn. Magic creates a location called Limbo, which adds a 7th turn to the game. If you're someone, regardless of if you are a free-to-play or pay-to-play player, do your weekly challenge every week, chat. Unlocking the rewards under these is the best source on only Season Pass XP, but also gold and credits. Get your account progressing. We got extra boosters for not retreating. That's true. That is true. Okay, so Angela is a card that's a little tricky in this deck because you can only play 2 cards at her location afterwards because you don't want her to get bigger than 5 because otherwise she messes up your Cerebros. How many locations are there? The amount of variance is off the chart. So it's important that the locations add a good bit of variance to the game because the actual decks themselves are incredibly low variance, chat. I think Snap's one of the lower variance card games I've played in recent memory. It's definitely lower variance than Magic to set a low bar. I know, and I know that that's a super low bar to clear, but it certainly does. Certainly clears it. How long does it take as a free-to-play player to get half the cards of the game? I haven't sat down and done the math on that recently. Need to sit down and do that again. You see 9 cards every game at a minimum. You start with 3 cards in hand and you draw a card every single turn. Yeah, I have starter series decks up on the Snap YouTube channel. Look for the 2 starter series deck highlights or pull 1 and pull 2 only decks that I've been working on. All right, I don't have a copy of Magic to play into the sewer system currently, which is a little annoying. I'm gonna put Laris middle, and then it might be a Sarah deck's turn. This could also be a, well, there's Magic, so I guess if I Magic, I can't Spider-Man for cheap, but I think that's still ideal. So this is Doctor Doom, and then we can Cerebro Mystique on the last turn. Well, Monster Metropolis messed up Cerebro. I think they're going to activate their strong guy here, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we're gonna have a ton of power in the middle. The question is, can 14 power win right, or can 10 power win left? We might be torched here, but we're only playing for 1 more cube, so I think we stay in. Why wouldn't Cerebro add power in the middle? He's gonna put Angela to 5, and then... I'm counting on them emptying their hands here. I think one of these is gonna discard something. Ah, the real Mysterio got us. We would have actually won the game if the real Mysterio had been somewhere else. Also, interesting interaction. These weren't 9s yet when Shang-Chi flipped up because Cerebro was powering up over here still. And then when this flipped up, it discarded their last hand, which moved Metropolis to strong guy. You can't get variants of cards you don't have, Gemma. All of the variants in your shop are of cards currently in your collection. So every single day, the variants in your shop for purchase for gold roll over here. And these are always cards that are in your collection. I almost bought this Magic, but I think I'm holding out for... the unreleased version of Magic. It's a sweet one that's been data mined. The Welcome Bundle has Captain America. You should have Captain America in your collection. It's one of the beginner cards. Maybe it's not one in the immediate deck they give you, but they give it to you super quickly. Okay, so if I Polaris the Shocker here. Okay, so they're a Patriot deck. So Miles Morales costs 1 less to play out if a card moved on the previous turn. So he's a little cheaper now. That being said, the debris kind of rinsed us here. We might just be dead. Yeah, so Patriot here gives all of their cards with no abilities +2 power, and all the rocks have no abilities. So we just, like, can't play out to these locations because debris clogged us up too much since she was doubled on Carmitage. We're gonna go ahead and bounce out here.
Escaped.
You get Captain way sooner than collection level 214. There's actually 2 smaller card pools before pool 1. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about by card pools and where cards come from, up on the Snap YouTube channel, there is a Marvel Snap Card Pools Explained video that breaks down which groupings cards are in, because Snap tries to give you specific groups of cards early so you have a bunch of interactive cards to provide you with counterplay to start your collection. Ooh, we got more Cerebro boosters from that. So we got a 2-drop on the first turn because of Tinkerer's Workshop. We just play our Angela out. Hey, Andrew, thank you for the nice amount of months subscribed. Appreciate that. Love you too, Jake. Thanks for the 3rd of the year. Hope life's treating you all right. Appreciate the shout out on your tweet. So Isle of dang it, Bobby. I was about to. Woo! All right. That's a snap, right? So Scarlet Witch is a little bit of a chaotic card, chap. On reveal, she turns a location into a random different location, and she turned the previous one we had there into the Space Throne, which says there could only be 1 person on the throne. So our lizard is beating the Scarlet Witch here. Sinister London is interesting. So when you play a card here, copy it to another location.
Opponent snapped.
They snapped back. Okay, interesting. Think I'm waving? I don't know though, it's close. What do we think of just magicking Sinister London? I think I'm into it. Because they obviously snapped because of Sinister London, right? Wong is actually kind of terrifying. Their on-reveal effects happened twice, so they thought they were going to get to quad their on-reveals, but there are a lot of really scary on-reveals. I'm gonna play Spider-Man here to power up Angela, and then next turn we can Cerebro Mystique potentially. Or Cerebro Mysterio if we don't find Mystique. So, Mysterio, Polaris, Cerebro? Is that good enough? Or do I want to put Polaris here as well? Do I want to try and play for Limbo? They could give this +7 by passing this turn, putting them to 14 here. Polaris puts me to 11, and then this is this. But if they pass and put 7 energy into here, then they're not doing anything here. And I'm going to be 10, 13 plus 4, 17 here. Okay, this is our first 8 cube win or our first 8 cube loss? Alright, they leadered our synergy deck again. Oh my gosh, when leader copies Mysterio, it gives him a 0 power clone. What not to do in the game? Listen, chat. On the Snap YouTube channel, there is an account progression guide. I'm gonna keep shilling that. I spent a lot of hours yesterday and over the weekend making new player stuff for the YouTube channel. So please, it's like less than a half hour in total. Make sure you check it out. Give me a click, give me a like, give me a comment. I appreciate you. Random. So, this is a location that could really screw with this deck. Because if it generates a card with more than 5 power, it'll screw up what our Cerebro give bonuses to. So this is a location where we might end up retreating this game because this location is bad for us, is a possibility here. But our opponent hasn't snapped or anything like that yet, so we're just chilling for now. Now, I get to Polaris pull Bucky Barnes over to the left, so that way if they want to destroy him, they have to destroy whatever pops out of the X-Mansion as well. Yes, magic killing London was key in that previous game, for sure. 5 or less, 5 or less, 5 or less. Okay, sweet. That's 5 or less, so we're not rinsed off, and they only got a 3 power thing. Nightcrawler could also move around here, which is nice. My hand is good enough at this point that I think we can start playing into the LeChickagulia and not care about it. The sewer system screws with us, so we need to play for X-Mansion plus LeChickagulia here. I think this is a Spider-Man plus Cerebro turn, And then next turn we go Mystique, Mysterio into Doctor Doom on the last turn. They snapped. Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty okay. Do we snap them back and get them committed for 4? Let's snap them back and get this game committed for 4. And they committed Typhoid Mary into the sewer system, which is fine. We said we weren't playing for the sewer system anyways. I'll go ahead and Mystique left plus Mysterio here, I think. Where do I want the real Mysterio at? They might have something like Destroyer, right? I'm gonna real Mysterio mid, actually, I think. I want to leave an extra space open here. Yeah, let's do this. And I want to split up where Mystique and Cerebro are because my opponent could be an Enchantress deck. Is likely an Enchantress deck, in fact. So Enchantress gets rid of the ongoing effect of my cards. So I want to split up my ongoing effects. So that way they don't get both rinsed off by the same thing. So Mystique will copy over as Cerebro here. And then all of my 5 power things will be 9 power things, which is great. Wait, they did nothing this turn? That seems great for us. Alright, we Dr. Doom here, who will be 9 power, and I'll make another 9 power bot in the middle. We win, right? Yeah. Cool. I thought we almost got punished for where the real Mysterio went there, but we were ultimately rewarded for the fact that I identified that they were an Enchantress deck, and we split up our Cerebro and Mystique. So Enchantress wiped off the bonuses from this card, but Mystique was still providing it, so we were able to win left with the +4 there. And we got the 8 cube maximum, which is great. Yeah, hopefully they let my Mysterio variant show up. It's sad that when I play the Mysterio out, that he uses the non-variant artwork. Subterranea. Good old rock chat. Nothing beats rock. The audio design is tops. Cenotaph, it's really well done. Agreed. I'm actually going to retreat here on 1 because my hand is weak and I've already drawn a rock. So I think on average, we're not likely to win this game because we don't already have a Cerebro. And with 5 rocks in my deck, I think that's unlikely to change. There's 13 cards. We're only going to see 5 more of them. And again, when spots like that happen, you should look at retreating as effectively your game's the mulligan. It's your ability to say, okay, I want to do over here. I would like to say it's awesome. We've got over 500 people in here for some Snap this afternoon. Appreciate the Magic regulars are hanging out to check out something new. I promise you, if you end up checking out Snap and you like card games, you're not going to leave disappointed. Oh, that's 2 locations that are not great for us. Although, I guess, because we're Cerebro 5, if we play 0 power things into Nidavellir, they technically get the bonus, right? So Mysterio, Mystique, and Cerebro all become 5 power things there. We also have to hope the X-Mansion doesn't get us. I will say these Cerebro decks do have a slightly higher than average this location is bad for me ratio, because there are a number of locations that screw with things power. It does, Nidavellir does mean unless we fill it, we can't Doctor Doom though, because the Doom bot will be 10 power and then grab the Cerebro bonuses. Oh no! Squirrel Girl into Nidavellir does in our bonuses too. That's so sad. Dine, thanks for the sub gifties. Happy release day. Alright, so we have a 20% chance to draw magic next turn to wipe Nidavellir out. So that's what we gotta hope for now. We're not retreating, obviously, because they haven't snapped, but we need to draw a copy of magic next turn. Yeah, we can play Doctor Doom, but it's probably not a winning play, right? That's true. They could be a kill all the ones. Like with the 0 and the demon, they're probably not, though. I guess we could play for just winning organically. All right, if they're not snapping, let's wait and see what they do here. I don't know where their Mysterio is. If their Mysterio is right, there's no way we win, right? We're tied there. I think even for a cube, we bounced here.
Escaped.
The Marvel Snap devs have confirmed that 1 new card per week is still their goal, and they're hoping to have that this year. Awesome. Sweet. I think in terms of timelines, it's probably important that they get to the point where they're releasing 1 new card per week before people that are joining today have full collections. I think if they're looking for a goal to race up against, that would be the goal I would be looking to hit. Let's play the Moon Dino deck for a little bit. So speaking of cards and card pools, I have a new cable for this deck too. This is one of the decks in my starter series videos. So there's 2 decks up there in the starter series right now. I might try and add more. We'll see if we can figure it out. All of the cards in this deck are in what are referred to as the first 2 card pools in Marvel Snap. And what that means is if you're starting Marvel Snap today, you're guaranteed to have every card in this Moon Dino deck by the time you hit collection level 474. Which if you're completely free to play is achievable in about 2 weeks. I think this deck, as well as the Khazar deck that I highlighted in my starter series, are decks that are competitive, even at the top of the card pool where people have full collections where I'm playing. I think they're just genuinely reasonable decks. Snap has done a pretty reasonable job with their balancing overall in trying to ensure that deck cards in the later card pools aren't just more powerful. They're not power creeping themselves. They're trying to ensure that they're interesting and different. So the key part of this deck is the 2 namesakes. We have Moon Girl here who duplicates our hand, and we have Devil Dino who gets 2 power for each card in our hand. So this deck is playing a lot of things like Cable and Sentinel and White Queen and Moon Girl that when we play them out, they add extra cards back into our hand. We drew their Ant-Man. Well, that seems pretty good. Okay, so let's Ant-Man plus Sentinel here. Something to note. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, wow, and Fisk shoots it. Brutal. Wow, they got this from the hub? What a beat. So, in Snap, there is a hard hand size limit of 7 cards. And if you Moon Girl bumping up against that limit, it copies from left to right. So if I Moon Girl here, it's only going to create 1 new card in my hand, but that new card is guaranteed to be this Devil Dino. Which is great, because I want a Devil Dino on the last 2 turns. Can you buy other cards? So you can't buy specific cards in Marvel Snap, but you can buy credits, which will allow you to, you can buy credits, which will allow you to acquire cards faster. So there isn't an option like in games like Magic Arena where you can just whip out your wallet and have a full collection by swiping your credit card. That is not an option in Marvel Snap. Okay, so we assume they're going to empty their hand here with Sarah. That means Strong Guy is going to be 10 power. So they have 15 here in the middle. So the question is, how do I want to play out to the rest of these locations? I think I'm just punting center. So I think we just go Devil Dino here and Agent 13 right. Agent 13 makes a random card in my hand for a total of 12. So I'm going to have a 17 power right, and I'm going to have a lot more than 17 left. Do I need more than 17 left? Honestly, they might be punting left. Maybe we do this. Because my Ant-Man's going to get +3, and their Lizard's going to get -3. I think they're going to punt left. I'm going to stay in for 3 more cubes here. Wow, my read was rancid. Oof. I played myself. Yeah, well played, opponent. So, if I would have gone left with the Dino, we lost the coin flip there. I thought because I was likely to fill into Lizard, they wouldn't play here. And then they went to the next level where they're like, okay, if it looks like I'm not going to play here, I'm going to end up playing here. So if Devil would have gone here, we'd have been +13 in this path, and we'd have beaten them with 26. Close game. So we're perma behind now after release if we weren't in the beta. No. Not only are they planning to add a system for targeting specific cards soon, well, soon, on their roadmap. Dev timelines don't know what soon means. But second is that even once they start releasing a card per week, the free-to-play collection rate in Marvel Snap is more than 1 card per week. Which means even once they fully ramp up their release cycle, spending $0, you'll eventually have a full collection in this game. What's going on, Caboose Man? Snap is out. It's Mantis the left tier, huh? No 1-drop from them is sad. She only draws me a card if they play there. I mean, I don't know that, like, there's anything interesting to, like, pick out there, Greaseball. It's just like, well, it's kind of a coin flip, and you're just trying to guess what level your opponent's on, and, like, maybe you could read based on, like, going back through the turns of the game what level they're going to be on, but overall, I do think a lot of those spots end up being kind of flip-y. So corporate decides that's not sustainable. Well, you gotta remember, Second Dinner is a company that was created by people that all left larger studios because they weren't happy with how they were being managed for the games there. So I have to imagine the people at Second Dinner are getting to make the choices, and they're not like, you know, there isn't a Wizards of the Coast or even or a Hasbro or a Blizzard behind them, right? They obviously have their hands on a big IP here, but it's still their game and product. This location is pretty decent for us. We'll go Collector Electra here this turn, and then Cable Sentinel next turn to fill the raft and get a free 6-drop. Alright, they discarded their Helena Lady Sif. I'm gonna snap them. They could have a Ghost Rider, but We'll see. Where's the like button? There will be a like button on the Marvel Snap stream tonight on YouTube. In addition to posting highlight stuff on that Hooglandia Snap channel, I'm also doing YouTube live streams in the evenings. So they have a bigger company investing seed money into them, Hex, but they have said that all of the decision-making power is theirs. So those companies expect money, obviously, but Second Dinner gets to be the one to make the choices of how they think they're going to make that money. Is an important distinction. Dream Dimension is actually pretty bad for us here because Dream Dimension stops me from playing Devil Dino on 5 when I really want to play it. How many viewers do I need to have to consider streaming Snap on the main channel? So the long and short of it is viewers on Twitch don't account for that much of my income. My Twitch channel makes less than $300 a month on ad revenue. Twitch ad revenue is abysmal. The metric that I look at when I'm expanding into new content for if it can be successful and sustainable is how many subscribers I can maintain. So Twitch subscribers, Prime and paid subs are what allow content to be my job. And I plan to do a lot of Snap in the coming weeks here after this release. And so long as my subscriber count can stay above 1,200 concurrent subscribers, I plan to continue doing a lot of Snap. So if you're someone that enjoys my Snap stuff, you've got a Prime sub, you can afford to do a paid sub, that's the best way you can keep me here doing more Snap all the time. We're doing all Snap for the rest of the week. We're going to see what metrics and numbers shake out with, and we're going to be sprinkling in plenty for the next few weeks at least. One of the things, and for people that are new to my stuff, I've been streaming on Twitch for almost a decade. My channel has been partnered for 8 years. I've been doing full-time content for 4 years now. M. Carrington, thank you for the sub gifties, and Mouselock, thank you for the prep. I appreciate it. The Snap community's been great, chat. The support has been absolutely absurd in the best possible ways, and I hope to keep being here all the time, doing Snap specifically. But one of the things to complete my thought, one of the things to note is that anytime I make a change in content that I make, it takes a month to know if that change in content, I think I'm actually gonna rock slide here, put some rocks in the deck. It takes a month to know if that change in content impacted my metrics, the way subscriptions work. Because if people are unhappy with a change in content, it takes a month for them to unsubscribe and fall off. So it's a thing that's tough-ish to track directly for sure. All right, so I obviously want a Devil Dino next turn. I think we White Queen right, and then we'll Devil Dino right, planning to punt Fisk, or looks like they're punting Fisk Tower, so I don't think I need to play here again. And we have their Destroyer from Mantis, which is great. Thanks, Koopa. And Harry, thanks for re-upping with the Prime. So this Devil Dino here is 15 power right. And I want to play right because I'm down by 6 here and I'm down by 9 here. I think Marvel Snap is a better game than Magic the Gathering, and I enjoy playing Snap significantly more than I enjoy playing Magic. That being said, chat, like I mentioned, I'm a full-time content producer, and strict enjoyment doesn't feed my children or put a roof over their head. So like this is how I provide for my family. So we'll always be doing some amount of Snap as long as I'm enjoying it. But I can't justify doing all Snap if it means that all my metrics and support dries up, right? You gotta be pragmatic about it. I installed the PC client and poked at it a little bit this morning, but the proportions on the PC client are different than the proportions on this mobile client. And I was up till 1 a.m. last night editing videos, so I didn't have a chance to set up the PC client for my overlay yet. But that's on my to-do list for either tomorrow's stream or tonight's on YouTube. Let's Agent and Mantis here. I think they're most likely to play into the location that's flipped up. So Mantis will play here. Gamed. Whenever Agent 13 generates a super constructed playable card, it feels like cheating. It is still a vertical client. So the PC client is in early access, and they're hoping to have a formal full widescreen layout at some point later on. But I'm glad they did the early access to start. Hey, Triple D, thanks for the sub. Appreciate the support. But it's not quite, it's slightly wider than this one. Can you explain the snap mechanics? So think of this number here at the top as how many ladder points have been wagered on your current match. It's almost like a poker pot. And at any point over the course of the game, you and your opponent can choose to double the pot by snapping. And on the last turn of the game, the pot naturally doubles itself. Is the TLDR. I think I'm gonna try and Electro this Nova before they play more to the board here. I think we're losing this game. We just didn't have cards to keep our hands full, unfortunately. Our opponent hasn't snapped either, though, so there's no big reason to retreat. Yeah, it's a very sweet mechanic. It makes retreating when you're behind and your opponent pushes tactical, and eliminates a lot of garbage time from the game. Okay, I'll take a White Queen here. White Queen grabs the highest cost card in my opponent's hand and gives me a copy. What was the big issue with Nexus events? They were basically gacha style loot boxes that were very expensive to get a guaranteed card from. And we draw Chavez here, right? We might be okay here with Chavez. So Chavez, chat, she's giving us a fist bump because she never leaves you hanging. You always draw Chavez on the 6th turn and not before, which is a really sweet digital design because she actually makes the rest of our deck more consistent, because going up until turn 6, we're effectively drawing from an 11 card deck, which is awesome. And we drop her here, which gives us 14 power, and then we're up 7 here. They could kill Nova and get us into trouble, but I think we're good. I'm gonna stay in for one more cube. Okay, yeah, just an Iron Man. The stat mechanic and bluff equity of the game as well, to a degree. At a really high level, it adds a bluff mechanic. It really depends on, like, it's very similar to poker, right? Like, when you're looking at the snap mechanic, it's, you have to be one level above your opponent. Yes, Snap made a very bad early decision regarding monetization, and they have since corrected and look like they're heading in a good direction. They've in fact stated point blank that cosmetics as well as the monthly season pass are their monetization goals moving forward. And the season pass, for reference, only costs $10 a month. I have split my Chavez 9 times. I played it so much in my early climb. She's great. I play her in some of my season 3 decks. Is there a season pass you can buy today? So yes. You have to complete the recruit pass first, though. So when you get onboarded, there's a completely free recruit pass that gives you like 5 or 6 cards. And once you finish that, the paid pass flips up. Now, I'm skipping playing my Nightcrawler on the first turn here tactically, because Nightcrawler says you can move this once. So he's a soft combo with Angela here, who says when you play a card here, she gets +2 power. Because you play Angela, you play Nightcrawler to the Angela path, and then you slide Nightcrawler out, meaning Angela can get up to 9 power, which is excellent. I don't think I want to Angela this year. I'm going to put her in Wakanda, so she's nice and safe. Now, my Collector is a card that's going to get bigger as cards get added to my hand, especially with Moon Girl drawn. This thing could have a decent amount of power. So I think I'm going to Collector mid and Nightcrawler left, because him being -1 of the sewer system I don't think is a big deal. And I think with their Nova getting blown up this turn from Murder World, one of the dangers of playing to a face-down location, I'm going to go ahead and snap them, because they're not going to get a lot of value out of this Nova. Oh, it is Beetle. I missed that it was Beetle. Yes, you get 1 energy per turn based on the number of turns you've been playing. So similar to Hearthstone. 1 resource on 1, 6 resources on 6. Do I want to Moon Girl? Is it beneficial to have a second copy of White Queen? It could be. Getting a second copy of Cable lets me make my Collector bigger too. So when we Moon Girl, she duplicates my hand, which will create 3 new cards, meaning Collector will be +3 power. Rescue's a big one here. She gets +5 power if they play something out to her location this turn. Ooh, but Mantis draws me a card off their deck if they play to this location this turn. Let's do this. This means I'm not going to draw my Chavez next turn because Mantis plus White Queen will fill my hand, but I don't think I need Chavez. Next turn might be like Cable, Electra, or Cable, White Queen. Hey, Frost, thanks for the follow. Captain Marvel's really good to follow up Rescue. This is one of my favorite 1/2s in the game in these mid-rangey decks. Hey, Chuck MTG, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. My notifications are being weird here. It's missing some of them. Apologies if I missed any chat. I think I've got them. I'll pull up my other dashboard. What do I want to do here on the last turn? Oh, we pulled their Doctor Doom. Well, that's kind of absurd. Do I just do that now? Or, oh, they have Doctor Doom as well, though. This came out of their hand. Okay, so they're adding 5 power everywhere. But if I Doom here, that means I'm winning here. And they'll have Doctor Doom plus Captain Marvel here for 11. But I have more than 11 with this over, right? Yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning with Doom left here. Yeah, so Captain Marvel can give them a W in the center, and they did the same calculation we did there, chat. They knew that their Doom, well, I guess Shang-Chi feels like a strange one from Beetle. I wonder what their hand was. Because they knew we had their Doom. Maybe they forgot that we had their Doom. I've definitely forgotten when my opponent White Queens me. Sleepy Dog, thanks for the 10 months. Any good? Sap's been great. I love this game. Space Throne could be Collector, but could also be a Dino down the line. Oh, I didn't announce the switch to Snap. Sorry. No, I usually don't retreat against content creators because I don't care about the cubes. My hand was bad. God bless. Listen, chat, I won't complain about free points. Appreciate you, Beetle. Okay, with Moon Girl here with Devil Dino, The Dino's definitely going to the space turret. I'm going to Angela to the right. That way she's an empty location. Some risk to playing her into an unknown, but there's also value in having her in a space. Well, that's funny. This is technically an upside to playing her to an unknown as well, right? I'm going to snap them here. We're going to go Collector, middle. And then we're gonna go Collector into Moon Girl into Dino. Yeah. And with the Sanctum basically getting this for free. It's a big game for us. I prefer playing on mobile or PC. It plays well on both. The interface obviously is focused on mobile. I think this is again Angela or Nightcrawler after Angela. They tease what competitive will look like. Yes, so they've announced what their competitive format is going to be. Essentially, when you play a match, each player will have a 10 cube pool to play from. So the snapping mechanic will still be a thing inside of tournaments. So their direct challenge tournament style mode isn't in the client yet, but it's on their list of things that they plan to implement. And they've told us what the format will be, which is nice. Yeah, if they give us a spectator client, a way to not have to do hacky coverage, we'll definitely have a Hoglandia Snap tournament at least once. Or more than once if the first one's successful. The Snap devs said there would not be a downside to opening your caches. So I guess we'll see if that ends up being the case, but I'm hopefully going to believe them when they said that. Moon Girl copying Devil Dino here is aces. I think I snap on that. They have a bunch of swarms in hand, but my hand is very good. Yeah, I'm trying to make a point to show what the cards do a little bit extra. We're gonna make a point to do that for the next few weeks while we don't have a Twitch extension. Dracula is scary. Discards a card from their hand at the end of the game and gets bigger. So if they have something big, they could do something with that. Go ahead and Devil Dino. They're usually not a Shang-Chi deck, right? I'm gonna split my Devil Dino for now, and then we'll have to wait and decide what we're doing on the last turn. Okay, so they're obviously about to swarm a bunch. Opponent snapped. So their Dracula is gonna be huge because they're gonna discard an Apocalypse a bunch. But I think my big Dino beats their big Dracula. I'm gonna Agent 13 over here on the right. My Dino's gonna be 15 here. Dino versus Dracula, a fight. So their last card's probably Apocalypse, I imagine. Oh god, they have Morbius too. Okay, just a Swarm. Okay, Swarm is less scary. So this Morbius gets bigger for every card they discard. We're good, right? Because this is only gonna be 3 and then this gets 2 more. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, something like a Gambit would have been really scary for sure. Hey, Freddy Fred, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate the support. Wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. Super flow is interesting. So we want to not play cards here so we have extra resources. So we'll play Cable into the Dark here. I feel like we haven't hit many bots today, Caboose Man. I feel like a lot of the regulars are out in force, hyped for the release. The Triskelion is a little annoying because it filled our hand with crap here. I guess we'll play Daredevil out and maybe Mantis to draw a card from them. Potentially, we'll see. There's only one power here, which is a little loose. So if I white queen this turn, I actually won't draw a card next turn. But is that fine? I have Devil Dinosaur, and then we're drawing Chavez the last turn. I think that might be fine. I'm gonna white queen right here. And then white queen also gives us a little bit of information about what they have, right? Oh wait, this is only turn 3 too. Superflow's throwing me off. Yeah, I think skipping a draw for white queen is fine. The random Mystique could be a second Dino. That's true, depending on the sequencing here. Oh, man. I get to just Electra the Ebony Maw, right? So I'm gonna Devil Dino, right? And then next turn we can Mystique plus Electra. How do you play on the computer? You install it via Steam. I always infinity split if I'm there, null pointer, because the cosmetic effects that you get contribute towards splits on future cards. Wow, and that's a Moon Girl for next turn to be able to make sure my Devil Dinos are full, which is gas. Because we're gonna Mystique, so she'll be a 14 power Mystique somewhere. Thanks for the follows, folks. Good afternoon. Welcome on in. We're gonna be doing a lot of Marvel Snap around here. This is not the Steam client, because I didn't have a chance to set that up this morning before I started work. I was up super late last night. If you're looking for Snap stuff here on Twitch, as well as over on my YouTube side, we're doing lots of live streams here over the rest of the month. So Daredevil here lets me see what my opponent's doing before they do it. Onslaught. We might still be able to win this with an Iron Man next turn, huh? Do I want to show them Elektra? I don't know that I do. I don't think I do. I think I just play this and then pause. Is Daredevil in pool 3? It is, yeah. Warlock left will let me draw a card. That doesn't really matter, I don't think, right? Okay, so we go Elektra Moon Girl here, and then we win center and left. We just hope 14's enough to win left. It probably is. Is that a Triskelion card? Oh my god, we got Triskelions. That's so sad. I guess our Mystique was from the Triskelion too. They discarded a rogue to Triskelion as well. Well, sometimes the beats do be like that. That's a really solid one for them. It's one of the absolutely best cards you can have in a super flow, so they denied me that. Am I bouncing here? I might want to bounce here. I disagree with your statement, Mouselock. As someone who has watched a lot of different card games, every single card game in existence is unwatchable if you don't know the cards. In fact, I would make the argument that Snap is easier to watch than most other card games because the base metric of having the most power in 2 out of 3 spots is easier to track than a lot of the other things in other card games. That being said, it's still not easy if you don't know what the cards do. I am attempting to zoom in on things as they're played and talk about them, but I do miss them sometimes. There's just not enough time. Or, like, I've been streaming for 4 hours now and I'm hungry, so I'm stuffing my face here for a little bit. If you Taskmaster Double Down, does it say the power? It does, Caboose Man, yeah. It snapshots it and keeps it. Yeah, hopefully someone does a Twitch extension for this at some point. There's not enough time for streamers to spend enough time explaining. Disagree again. Like, and so, like, look at how much time my turn has while I tick down. I could literally take the time to show you every card in my hand here for a minute so you could read the text and then still have half the time on my timer to go. You're right that a lot of streamers won't take enough time to walk through and explain things and show you what they're doing, but that's a choice the streamer is explicitly making, not the client. Like, for example, we're gonna play Nightcrawler into this Angela path because it can move out, which means Angela's ability is gonna get to trigger a 4th time this turn. We'll play Mantis into the center as well because we're hoping they'll play there. We also trigger Angela again. It could be right to play Mantis right because you need to play this the same location your opponent's playing out, but I think if they play something cheap, they're likely to play here, and they do, because Goose prevents people from playing big cards in the middle. Yes, the opponent is probably a Spectrum deck. I think this is likely going to be a Moon Girl, and you can't play Moon Girl in the middle. Oh, wow. Actually, is this a Moon Girl game? Because the big house locks us out as well. So I guess I'm like just Devil Dinoing here next turn, right? And maybe we'll Moon Girl on the last turn? Huh? Wait, if they're a Spectrum deck, we Cosmo left, right? Is the play? I guess that means I can't Moon Girl to do this, but this stops their Spectrum from being playable anywhere. Let's do this. Because they can't Spectrum the big house. Okay, so they're at 15 here in the center. So if I move Nightcrawler over and play Sentinel here, I'm going to tie them in the center. Yeah, and that's exactly right. They're a Spectrum deck, which is an on-reveal card that makes all their ongoing cards bigger, but she costs 6. So they can't play her to the big house, and they can only play her here, and Cosmos stops on-reveal effects. Good read and sequence there. But that's one of the fun things about playing this Moon Dino deck as one of your first decks in Pull 1 and Pull 2, is that Mantis and Agent 13 and Cable all let you get cards that aren't in your deck, so you get to play with a wide range of cards in Snap, even though your collection's still small. A Kang deck. Kang is not a collectible card in the game currently, so I believe it currently exists in the client, but it's not something players have access to at the moment. It's been data mined, but isn't one that you can grab yet. So, there are about 50 unreleased cards that have been found in the Marvel Snap data files. So I have to imagine they're going to get through all of those cards with their release cycle before they consider... Oh, I love the gold background. It looks so good. Before they consider adding variants of cards we already have. So White Queen not only fills our hand something to make Collector bigger, but she also gives us a little bit of information. She gives the highest cost card out of the opponent's hand to us, so we'll get to know what we're playing around a little bit going into the last turn.
Opponent snapped.
Yeah, this is almost assuredly their hub card. Am I staying in here? I think I am. We're gonna Devil Dino left, and then we'll Chavez mid, and probably be in a good spot. Nito's a big boy. We lost the 50-50 there. So Chavez playing here meant that if we would have played her here, we would have won. It's a sweet arrow variant. Haven't seen that one. They would have lost with Ultron mid, right? Because my Chavez would have won left and I would have won mid with the Devil Dino. The variants in this game are so good. I'm so glad they're going to lean into cosmetics more for monetization because their cosmetics are excellent. And they've already announced like some other artists that are going to be coming in to do one-off things here and there for cosmetics. It's sweet. And they have such a great deep pool of things to pull from already, like various comic book arts that already exist that they could license, right? All right, can't play cards here after 4. Can't play cards here again until turn 6. We're working with some restrictions here, champ. I think I'm playing into Kiln. I agree, Chuck. I'm really hoping Marvel snaps the future card game stuff. Well, Devil Dino's 15 power mid. I want a Devil Dino and stay in through the snap. Sorry, 13 power. Math is hard. We just do this, right? Or would I rather Cable? Cable's actually only 1 point less than Mysterio, just because he gives me another card for Devil Dino. I think I'm gonna snap them back here. I think we're in a good spot. We'll see. They could do something crazy with Onslaught into Mystique into something else, but and White Queen Sentinel is better here than Chavez, because these add the same amount of power, but they both draw cards into my hand, leaving my Devil Dino bigger. How do you win? You need the most power in 2 of the 3 locations when you click End Final Turn. Oh, we lose to Ultron. Okay. So I needed... Could I have played around Ultron here? Yes, I could have, right? So I messed up. If I... Wait, could we have? If I would have Nightcrawler left, Sentinel mid... I would be... I know I would only be tying here, right? And I'd be down 1 here, so we'd lose the breaker here. And if I White Queen mid to win mid, I only have 10 power left. So yeah, I'm not sure that we had anything we could do here to have a different outcome in this game, huh? Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do at the very end. Ultron's a card I need to count for. Angela with Sentinel would have only been +3 power middle, which means I would have tied. Would have been 27 to 27. I'm gonna snap Collector into cloning bats. The economy here is really free to play friendly. Agreed. And now we'll Collector again, and then we'll Electra this Nova. So we'll blow it up before they get anything out of it. Can you fully tie a match? You can, yes. So there's one tiebreaker. If you tie one location, each win one other, and that's total power. But if you have the same total power for both players, you just full tie the game and nobody wins or loses cubes. Tying is fairly rare. Agree with that. Okay, we'll just play White Queen here. White Queen will draw me a card from their hand, and Cloning Bats will clone it, so she'll add 2 to each of these collectors. Red Skull, huh? Do this, and then next turn we can cable White Queen. I'm having this problem with Snap currently. I really need to get a nap in today, but I can't put the game down. What do I do? Hope that your battery runs out and you can't find your charger. Is this game new? So it had its full global release today. However, it had a 3-ish month closed beta beforehand that I was a part of. I don't think I would play Cosmo in this deck because it just has some really rough anti-synergy with a lot of our own cards. I think Cosmo's a fine card, but the anti-synergy on it's just rough. Okay, so we're obviously winning right by a ton. If I play White Queen middle, she gives 8 power because of Red Skull. And then I can Sentinel left. And then White Queen and Sentinel. Oh, I actually can't add... Huh? Do I want to play to tie middle, or do I want to just go all in on winning left? I might just go all in on winning left, actually. So this would add 9 plus 2 twice, which is 13 power here, plus 2 more to collectors. We're at a total of 15 here, so we'll be 21 to 4, which means we're up by 17, which being up by 17 is probably game-winning, right? Was Chavez due? She is guaranteed to be drawn on the 6th turn. Have you played Flesh and Blood? Flesh and Blood has the most atrocious paper game economy of any card game in existence, and I will not touch it with a 10-foot ball. It is an anti-consumer pile of garbage. Crunched him on the left here. Pro ZD did a Marvel Snap skit. It could be fun to share on stream. So, completed all the missions, completed the mission. God bless. Have you played Smash Up? I have played Smash Up, and as someone, whenever someone asks me is Marvel Snap is Smash Up. I always question if they've actually played Smash Up, because like Smash Up has the same mechanic where you have to win at the locations with power, but like that's where the comparisons stop basically. For people that haven't heard of Flesh and Blood, if you want to hear what Flesh and Blood did, not only are there mechanically unique cards that only appear in like 1 in 40 booster boxes, so they're incredibly rare, so they're like hundreds of dollars to buy for competitive decks, but they literally posted a video on social media of them running promo cards through a paper shredder to artificially inflate the prices, saying that these are more artificially diverse because we're destroying the rest. Their goal for Flesh and Blood isn't making a game first, it's making lottery ticket loot box booster packs that have expensive cards in them for collectors to purchase. And for what it's worth, I've heard nothing but good things about the actual gameplay of Flesh and Blood, but the fact that their primary goal is making booster packs like that just means I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Magic's bad enough for that, and Flesh and Blood takes that type of aspect and cranks it up to a 12. That's like a villain in a cartoon style thing to do. Yes, it's very like Cruella de Vil. Is a good way to put it. All right, we'll lead Nightcrawler into Murray Isles, that way it can charge up here faster. Normally, we'd wait to play Nightcrawler till after Angela, but because it gets powered up on turns 1 and turns 2 here, we're going to change and play that out on the first turn. I've actually heard nothing but positive things about Flesh and Blood's actual gameplay, but again, there's enough really good card games in the world that have better economic models that I have no reason to touch the one that's doing something heinous. So I'm sure the gameplay is good. A lot of people I know that play a lot of games like the gameplay, but I personally just have no desire to touch it. Or just play the default deck. Nah, I'd poke at whatever you want to poke at and play whatever you want to play. Deck building in this game is great. It's honestly difficult to build a non-functional deck in Snap, just by the way the deck building mechanics work. All right, do I want Nightcrawler to get bigger, or do I want a White Queen over here so she can get bigger? I think I want a White Queen over here so she can get bigger. I'm gonna slide Nightcrawler right, and we'll play White Queen left here to power up Angela again. Woohoo! Get rinsed! All right, we snapped them now, right? So, Professor X, they thought they were going to get us with some cheese, chat. This locks down a location, so the fact that we slid Nightcrawler this way, they thought they were going to get a freebie, but instead they gave us a freebie. I think we actually just chill, right? Yeah, I'm actually not. So, this game, yeah. So, this game's an interesting bit of you need to snap before you're ahead, right? And obviously, I didn't know we were going to be ahead here, but it's actually wrong to snap on this last turn because we're so far ahead. Some people might limp into the last turn and make a bad decision because it's only 1 more cube, whereas if you snap, it makes it 3 more cubes and then they bounce out. And obviously, they bounced out here even without us snapping, which is probably smart. They weren't going to limp in. But it's key. You can only push as much as your opponent can afford to call, is basically the TLDR. Yeah, I'll always rabbit hunt for 1 more cube. Yeah, because if it's only 1 more cube, you could like talk yourself into like, well, maybe they only have this, and then it's fine, and I win, even though they're more likely to have something else that beats you. A spot like that, you actually lose equity snapping at the end. Is only on mobile. No, it released on Steam Early Access as well today. You can play your account on both. Link your Google account. You can play on both. Mantis is definitely the worst card in this deck, and it's the first one I'd replace with pool 3 cards. So again, if you're just coming in and you're just starting out with Snap today, this deck that we're currently playing is all cards that you are guaranteed to have copies of within the first 2 weeks of playing. They're all pool 1 and pool 2 cards. I think this deck is reasonably competitive into even later people later up on the ladder with full collections. If you're looking for other decks to build out of just the base couple of cards you start with for the first couple of weeks, make sure you check out my YouTube channel for more of that. All right, so we're gonna. I think our hand is good enough here at this point that I don't really need to worry about making rocks. What does a max out version of this deck look like? Honestly, it's not that much different. Like, I think Mantis and maybe Electra flexes into something else, but Electra's got good utility in spots. Maybe White Queen has an alternative, but a lot of these cards are pretty close to optimal, I think. Yes, the opponent is probably a Destroyer deck. Quinjet is good in this deck. Yeah, replacing Mantis with Quinjet is aces. That's probably the biggest pool 3 upgrade for this archetype. All right, so they get to know where we're playing here, which actually means they might be Professor Cheesing left. Maybe I'm supposed to Electra this turn to play around Professor Cheese. Yeah, I bet I'm supposed to Electra. We're gonna lose here to Professor X. Yeah. So if I would have Electra'd here, we'd be 14-4-2 and they'd Professor X, which means we'd tie. But now I'm just gonna go ahead and retreat because they just get to Destroyer here, and then we lose. And again, like, this is a bad step for my opponent. It reminds me to go ahead and double check everything and reinforce that I can't win here. Whereas, like, maybe I'm bad if they don't snap, but I give them an extra cube. Beast is a good upgrade for this deck too. That's probably it. People saying, what would I change if I had all of the cards for this deck? It's probably Quinjet over Electra and Beast over Mantis are probably the two big changes. All right, shall we switch up some decks again, chat? I think we should switch up some decks again. I really liked this deck the other night when we were playing it. Let's do some of this. Speaking of Daredevil. If you're enjoying the vibes of the channel here, chat, we've got a bunch of new followers. Appreciate everybody stopping by to check out the Snap content today. Make sure you subscribe over at my Snap YouTube channel as well. In addition to regular highlights and other game news updates there, I'm also doing Snap live streams on YouTube as well. I'm going to be streaming here on Twitch for another hour or so today, and then I will be live again this evening around 9 p.m. Central over on YouTube. On the Hooglandia Snap channel there. Energy, player Mysterio out. Hooglandia regular here, Corel. What a combo deck looks like in this game. Yeah, there's some sweet combo decks. Usually, a lot of the combo decks right now involve Wong. He's a very good enabler. Yeah, the Exodia Gambit deck. If you want to highlight right away, go look up the Exodia deck on the highlights channel I was talking about. Opponent snapped me. Wong Mystique in your favorite card, yeah, basically. Let's Spider Bro the center here.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Okay, so we get to see everywhere they play out here. Wait, are they playing nothing? That looked like they were playing nothing, right? They must have all expensive cards that can't play into the big house. All right, so Killmonger is the best draw in my deck here. Carnage. Carnage is actually pretty good too, right? So I Carnage right here. And then we'll Enchantress middle. And we're winning left because the real Mysterio is here. Carnage eats all 3 of these, including the Green Goblin, so I'll have a total of 8 power here. And before anybody's wondering, chat, this is a Marvel card game, not a DC card game. So it's okay if Carnage eats Angela on stream for us. Oh my god! We got him with the Enchantress in the dark. Whoo! Get torched.
Victory.
Yeah, that's a good context for Flesh and Blood. Your decks go from $600 to $20 by eliminating 3 cards. Yeah, I was just playing Enchantress for power there, Corel. Very fortunate to hit your Blue Marvel ending up there. Fun avatar. Funny but sad and very good is basically an accurate description of absolutely everything John Oliver puts out. So what do cubes represent? The cubes are your ladder rank, Mouselock. So how quickly you climb up the ladder ranks is determined by your cube equity and how quickly you're acquiring them. Get our Daredevil down into Murray Isle here to start pumping it up. So now there's a question. I can Killmonger, which destroys all 1-cost cards, but normally I want to use my Killmonger to kill my own Nova, but my curve is just super awkward here if I wait, right? Like if I Nova this turn, I guess if I Nova this turn, I can Killmonger plus Demon on 4, so maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. All right, I've talked myself into doing it this way because I want to kill this so I make my things bigger, right? I guess I don't even have that many things to make bigger though yet. Nah, I lied. I'm just gonna kill Killmonger this turn. You do get rewards for climbing up the ladder, is accurate. Okay. And then I think we go Nova, Demon, Mysterio. So that way we're playing to win this, and then we have a Mysterio clone and Nova over here to be able to Carnage if we draw Carnage in our last couple of cards. Carnage destroys everything at the location you play it out at, so giving it things that he likes to eat is good. And now, this is kind of a powerful 1-2 combo this archetype has. We have Daredevil here, which lets us see where our opponent is playing this turn. And then we'll be able to play Professor X out into a lane, guaranteeing we win there, essentially. You found boosters are your biggest block. That changes very quickly unless you're spending a lot of money. Credits. Boosters are an unlimited resource gated by your ability to play. If you're playing an okay amount of Marvel Snap, you'll eventually just have plenty of them. Okay, they're playing Collector mid, which I think means we just Professor X left, right? Because with Nova here, we're then +5. Then we don't care if we draw Carnage. Because our real Mysterio is over here, so we're winning in the sewer system currently, because this isn't a -1, it's actually a +4. Only played one of the cards in my hand, unfortunately. I guess we just... Oh, yeah, we Enchantress middle, and then we eat Morbius, right? I'm not going to snap here, because we're pretty far ahead. Yeah, they stayed, so should be 4 cubes easy. Enchantress wipes out ongoing abilities from cards, so she takes Morbius and gets rid of his text.
Victory.
To give you a pointed example for what it's worth too, I currently only have 485 credits on my account. All of these cards that I have here currently have enough boosters waiting to be upgraded. But I have to pick and choose at this point which cards I'm upgrading, because we have a finite number of credits. I have 124 cards that have boosters that could upgrade them. Yeah, if you put dollary dues in, you'll be choked for boosters for a little bit at the start, but that'll eventually even itself out. There's no rush to upgrade them, but chat, I like when the cards are prettier when I upgrade them. Hey, at least they both stayed in the same lane. Upgrading is purely cosmetic, so it's the types of borders on things. So you can see, like, my Angela has been upgraded a ton. She has this fancy shimmer effect. She's got a rainbow background. She's got the fancy purple border. My Green Goblin has not been upgraded much. It has a blue border, and the artwork is 3D a little bit, and that is it. Yeah, there is a 5,000 cap on credits. They haven't yet, Caboose Man. They did, however, announce their primary monetization method is going to be the Season Pass plus cosmetics moving forward, though. That's kind of a sick beat.
Oh, snap.
Oh, I missed a question here. So someone just started this game, any tips on maxing collection value? I literally posted a guide today on the YouTube channel titled maximizing your snap collection or whatever. I'm gonna be honest, yet I can't remember what past Jeff named it, but we have a video that's got you covered. Now, because my opponent and I both have Daredevil, they just cancel each other. And this is actually a fun combo. So Spider-Man says your opponent can't play cards here next turn. So we're just gonna Spider-Man the middle here. And then we get to kind of get set up and know where our power lies. Okay, yeah, so they're locked out then, basically, right? This is webbed up, they're losing here, they're losing here. Play my demon, play my enchantress to give a better tiebreaker, technically. Call it a day. I assume they're retreating here. Yeah, I think the collection track is super motivating, Hacksaw. The core problem with Runeterra is that it isn't that it's... The problem with Runeterra isn't that it's free-to-play friendly. It's that you get all of the rewards almost instantaneously, and then there's no reason to keep playing if there's not a carrot at the end of the stick. I think Marvel Snap's carrot at the end of the stick is one of the best in any game. Any card game I've touched. It's very, very, very well done from a feels good psychological perspective. You will currently achieve a full Marvel Snap collection at approximately collection track level 3,300, which takes a few months free to play, I believe. I think you get 900-ish levels per month, but I haven't sat down to look at the exact math in a little bit. It's also worth noting, though, that once they get their full release cycle going, that number is going to move, right? Every time they add a new card to the game, the collection track level you need for a full set goes up a little bit, right? And eventually, they will be releasing, 4 or 5 cards a month. We're not playing into Luke's bar. He bounces us right back out. Well, Angela into the Fist Tower. Is there an issue with the audio settings on PC? How much would it cost to own everything if you just wanted to buy everything? You can't. You can't just open your wallet and get every card in this game without playing. You can spend money to buy credits to progress faster, but you have to be playing to earn boosters to spend those credits. And you can only buy a limited number of credits per day. Everyone getting a collection in this game is playing a bunch to have their collection. My opponent snapped me? Sure, let's play. Does Professor X in the bar keep him from getting bounced? It should, yeah. I believe so. Well, if that ain't the spookiest shit I've seen all day, I don't know what is. Well, so it's worth noting, WarDev, that being in open beta doesn't impact someone like me yet in terms of matchmaking, right? So the open beta, what's the word that I'm searching for, is adding new players who both aren't at my rank to play ranked matches with and also aren't at my collection level. So for the first 500 collection levels, you only play against other people that are in the starting collection levels. I think we just do this and then we'll Professor X Luke's bar in the last turn. Well, so I didn't say Marvel Snap's carrot keeps you playing endlessly, but what you just said there kind of makes my point, which is you keep playing every day. Their goal isn't to have people no life this game. Their goal is to have people play a little bit every day because people no lifing games burns them out on those games. All right, speaking of games, I think in this game, we actually Enchantress the Warpath, which takes 4 power off of it. And then I'm +9 here then, which is 19 to their 7. But then, can they beat me? They have a 7 difference here, so I need to be 8 different here. It's close. It's close. It's close. I'm gonna fish for 2 cubes. The goal of systems in these games is to get you to play a little bit every day. Oh, I guess we just lose the destroyer with this, right? Because I'm only at 19. Yeah, I should have just bounced out. So again, people asking about ties. We lose this because the opponent's total power is 25 and our total power is 21. I think we actually haven't had a tiebreaker like that today. The Cosmo, our Green Goblin, was a rough beat. Stopped our boy from flipping over. All right, Nova into Hala sounds great. This is actually super awkward for us now because Starlight's gonna shuffle these somewhere, so Jotunheim could end up center after turn 4. So Carnage is our best draw here.
Opponent snapped.
Spider-Man. Does Hala move first? I actually don't know. We're gonna find out though. Whoa, it does move first. Well, the more you know. We just locked this up with the professor, right? And then I think we just Enchantress mid, right? This is the real Mysterio here. Killmonger is more power, is it? Oh my god! We turned all their cards into Patriots, chat. Oh, did we win? The real Mysterio's got our back, right? All right, whew. So, Patriot gives your cards with no abilities +2 power, and Enchantress wipes the abilities off of ongoing cards. So that was a little bit closer than I thought it was gonna be. So, again, Shook, you're kind of highlighting why the importance of having so much carrot and stick is important. And honestly, at the end of the day, if you're only playing, and this just goes for Snap or anything else, if you're only playing games of Snap or anything else for the rewards that they're giving you, you probably aren't having fun with that game and you should go do something else. Like, the primary thing you should get from a game that you are playing is fun. And if you're only playing something for the only purpose is the grind, then I would recommend playing something else instead. And that's true of Marvel Snap, it's true of Magic Arena, Genshin Impact, any of the games that I play. You should play them because they spark joy. Aren't you arguing against the problem of Runeterra? Yeah. So, like, obviously, that can't be the only thing. But again, I feel like I Am Shook's position is weird. Because they're saying their position is they play a little bit every day. So, like, the system is working exactly as intended. Oh, is this about to be a destroy card? Are we about to get rinsed? Oh my god. That's so brutal. I think we're dead. We've definitely lost the big house to set a low bar. I guess we'll kill Monger here and keep playing because they haven't snapped or anything. I'm actually not telling you at all what you should or shouldn't enjoy. I'm simply telling you the fact that if you aren't enjoying it and you know what you're enjoying better than I do, then you should stop.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
I'm saying that it is fun to acquire extra things, but if the only reason you're playing something is the sake of acquiring extra things, you probably don't actually like that thing and you should give it up. Nova Deathlock. What patch is it? Oh, you know what? I wonder if because they went Nova Deathlock here, if I'm supposed to Professor X the mid. I don't know, locking up Baxter Building seems like it has value. Are we dead here? I think we're dead. I guess, this is technically a 6-drop, right? So we have 6, 9, 12, this is 13. I guess I'll play this, but we probably lose mid here, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, death would have been a possibility there. I wouldn't have stayed in if they snapped, but I think I'll fish for a cube. How do you spend money to get more stuff? You should check out my progression guide, Crazy Duck. As it covers all the nuance. It's like 8 minutes. That's up on the Snap channel. It runs down what's optimal to buy depending on what you're spending. Covers free to play, little spenders, and big spenders. Okay, well I think this is actually a snap here for us now. Well, So would I rather Black Widow this turn or Mysterio? I think I'd actually rather Mysterio, right? Because getting the Mysterio copies into play gives more value off the Nova. So if we Mysterio here, it'll put one here, and then on 3 we go Hood Carnage and then give both of these bigger. I think I snapped that. We're in a decent spot here. Because we can always like Black Widow on 4 to deny one of their draws later. And I think this is something that's key to maximizing your ladder equity, is snapping when your hand looks like it's going to curve out well early, gives you more bladder points overall. Optimizing your Marvel Snap collection. God, Past Jeff is so smart. What a great name for that. Yeah, this is actually perfect now because I get to go Black Widow Daredevil on 4, right? Just like have a perfect curve out situation here. Although I might want a demon into Asgard. Nope, actual 0 reason not to upgrade your cards right away. Well, The only reason to not upgrade your cards right away is if you don't like the card and might want to spend the upgrade on a different card you like more later. But generally speaking, progressing your account levels as quickly as possible I think is good. I'm gonna try and Demon here to draw 2 cards off Asgard. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Dracob. I talked about this earlier, but just to reiterate, Snap is definitely my favorite card game right now, and I plan to do a ton of content for it this week and the rest of the month. And if my metrics in terms of sub count stay good, leading out of this month of doing a lot of Snap stuff, it's gonna be a regular mainstay on the Twitch channel here. I'm gonna be playing some of it regardless of what metrics look like, just because I like Snap a lot, but this is my full-time gig, so if doing a bunch of Snap and doing less Magic means my metrics drop, I do have to put more Magic back in. It's like the TLDR. Children are expensive, chat. I have 3 of them to feed. Killmonger, eh? So we Professor X here then? Can I win middle after they Killmonger? I'm not sure that we can. This game might be hosed. I have to win the danger room next turn, right? That's not easy. Want Professor X mid instead? Yeah, maybe. I guess it's the danger room, so we could win there regardless. And they just lose their 25%er? I'm gonna stay in and they're gonna lose their 25%er. It's great. Especially Declan the Kid Kitty. Yep. Look at this incredible skill-based game called Marvel Snap that we're playing, chat. Sometimes you just gotta have a little faith. You gotta let RNGesus take the wheel and drive it off. Hold on, chat. I gotta PayPal Ben Brode real quick. Give me a minute. All right, cool. All right, we've got honestly, I think snapping when you have Daredevil X in your opener is a reasonable. Nope, that's the wrong button. I think snapping when you have both. I was up real late last night, chat. Oh, the audio went funky. We had this bug once before. We'll have to restart the client after this game. The PC client is out, but the dimensions on it are a little bit different than this, so I need to update my overlay. I might actually have to have my what's it called person create a new one for me, which is a little unfortunate. The dream dimension's unfortunate. It means I can't do a whole lot this turn. I can't play Professor X. Yeah, angry organic chicken. I'm actually I'm gonna be on the Twitch front page for a couple hours tomorrow morning while we play Snap 2, which should be fun. No, I think I want to Carnage. I think I want to Carnage this next turn. I think I'm Black Widowing here. How long it take to free to play finish pull 2? About 2 weeks. Oh, wait, that's funky. Did Daredevil... Did it fix itself? I think it did, right? It sounds correct down? Oh, we gave them a Widow's Bite to Lockjaw for free. Okay, so that was wrong. Is -5 enough to win left? It probably isn't, right? Not by a lot. Oof. Yeah, Black Widowing them the previous turn was wrong. Dream Dimension. Definitely cost us that game. My bad play didn't help, but Dream Dimension made it harder than it otherwise would have been. Yeah, I think the Lockjaw Thor deck's a lot of fun. Agreed. Why don't we play a little bit of that to wrap up? I think we're gonna do like 20 more minutes or so. I plan to stream tonight on YouTube sporadic, and tomorrow, tomorrow we should have a solid viewer count because of the front page boost. So I don't want to go crazy today if we're gonna have extra reason to go super long tomorrow. Oh, how much to make me do another hour? Uh-oh. Dollary dues? I don't know about dollar dues. I think I'm just gonna... We'll do plenty tomorrow, I promise, okay? That's just Scullian's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. My curve was already sorted here. Thanks for the follow, Heart Clash. We're going to be doing Snap here during the day, every day this week. We're going to be streaming every evening over on YouTube as well. Well, this is wonderful. So Lockjaw here, let me zoom in on some cards. When you play a card here, you swap it with the card in your deck. And Jubilee plays a random card from our deck to this location. Our deck currently has Dr. Doom in it, as well as Thor, Wave, and some other friends. So hopefully we don't get a Wasp. Wasp would be the one we're looking to dodge. Thor is a nice one. Wasp is not. Okay, so I think we Jane Foster here, who draws all the zero-cost cards out of her deck. What did Jane left? Yeah, I guess I don't want to play into the rescue lane. And then Thor put a zero-cost hammer into our deck, our Mjolnir. So Jane draws Mjolnir for Thor, which is lovely. Ooh, Claw as a follow-up to Rescue is cute. Okay, so I'm +9 here. Which means, what if we go Mjolnir, Odin the Mjolnir? That adds 12 power to Thor. That would put me to 19 here, meaning I'm up by 9. That might not be enough to win, huh? My deck has 4 cards in it. Doctor Doom, Wong, Wave. I think this is a retreat. I think we're clunked up enough. Oh yeah, Hobgoblin's in there too. I think we're far enough behind that I'm not gambling 3 extra cubes here. We'll just retreat for the 1. So you can find the PC client on Steam now.
Oh, snap.
I'm a Dr. Doom on turn 1. Let's do it. Snap it up. So now this match is worth a minimum of 4 cubes, Chip. Hey, Zeno, thanks for the Prime. That's super generous of you. There's a lot of great people. You can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this month and keeping me around. Yes, you sign into your Google account on any of the platforms and you're linked across all of them. Okay, so now I gotta decide how we want to curve here. I think this is Thor into Jane Foster on 4 into Hammer Odin over here. So that way we re-trigger the Doombot as well, because Odin re-triggers our on-reveal effects. Oh, we could even put Wong over here too, right? Yeah. This hand's actually sick. This is gross. Okay, yeah, so we do this, and then we Wong here, and then we Jane Foster here, and then we Hammer Odin here on the last turn. That's fine. We still win, but it's just less exciting. Oh wait, now we just do this, right? Now we just do this. Let's go, Tiger and Odin. Sandman says you can only play 1 card per turn, so I wouldn't be able to do both next turn.
Victory.
Wong's a very powerful effect, chat. Doubling up your on reveals is big game. Can I get a wave? Oh my, I think we snapped this deck. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have our combo, chat. Let me explain our 3-card combo here. So Black Widow gives our opponent a Widow's Bite, which says they can't draw a card. Then Wave makes all your cards on the next turn cost 4, which means we get to play Odin out to re-trigger our on-reveal effects, which then gives them more Widow's Bite and makes everything cost 4 again. So Black Widow on 2, Wave on 3, Odin on 4 into the Black Widow wave path actually stops your opponent from drawing 3 of their 6 cards over the course of the game. Penguin, oh yeah, and Carbitage doubling it all up to boot. Have some bites. Oh, I guess bites into Oscorp gets us a little bit, but that's fine. I still want to take their card draws away. That's fine. Sporadic, thank you for the sub gifties, by the way. Appreciate you. This might just be a Thor into Jane angle. Oh, I guess we only have 2 more turns, right? So I guess not. It's probably a Hobgoblin into Jubilee angle. We'll see what we draw. If we find a Dr. Doom, we'll want him. Yeah, they actually just don't get to draw any more cards yet. What they have is what they get, and they only get to play 1 card next turn. Oh, right. This technically would have triggered 4 times. Okay, I think we Hobgoblin here. We Hobgoblin mid. We're gonna punt the vault here. And then we're hoping to draw Dr. Doom on the last turn so we can play him here and add 10 power to the center. There's 4 cards in our deck, one of which is Dr. Doom's for 25% to draw him. Devil Dino. We could lose this. They just had such large individual lands, Chip. Do you think we got a bounce? We probably just get... Well, I guess they're not probably likely to have anything. +8 isn't good enough though, right? Yeah, unfortunately their deck is just one that has some individually big cards in it, so they're able to get around us, locking them out, and they happen to have those cards in their opener. Just gotta go here, unfortunately.
Escaped.
Don't they only have 2 cards? No, they're, What decks play Devil Dino and Destroyer? Some of the Taskmaster variations of the Destroyer deck play Dino. Sand is a slow grind. Take it easy.
Face the might of Asgard.
Their best draw next turn, like Wong. And curve Wong, Wong, Tiger, Odin. Their draw is also not particularly fast. I guess playing Wong into Hell is a little bit of a die roll. They did not play into here, that's good for us. I think Sandman is fine, right? I think I was gonna snap them.
Oh, snap.
Sandman's been real annoying today. This deck likes to play multiple cards in a turn. Because Twitch is stupid. Vlad is the TLDR. So do I understand this right? If I Odin here, I get 4 tigers? Because it triggers it, and this triggers twice, and then this triggers again, and it triggers twice. I think that's how this works, right? So they're gonna hella us here. But we're getting 4 tigers, so I think we might be okay. I think I wanted all 4 to go center. That's unlikely, but... Oh, I missed that they binned Infinite. So one thing the client does desperately need is you can't currently see what cards are discarded. So I was talking to chat. I saw Captain Marvel and Death. I missed that their 3rd card they binned was Infinite. So hopefully at some point they add the ability to the client to go back and see, hey, this is the discarded pool. All right, chat, it's 3 o'clock. I need to find something to eat and chill with the kids for a little bit and get some other stuff done before the stream tonight. Remember, if you want more Marvel Snap stuff from myself, check out my Snap YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of highlights and tips and deck videos up there, as well as game news. I'm going to be back streaming live tonight on YouTube at that Hoaglandia Snap URL at 9 p.m. Central. That's 6 hours from now. I'll also be live here again tomorrow morning on Twitch every day this week, 10 to 3 p.m. at a minimum. We're going to be doing Snap Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Really appreciate all the new subs and follows. Welcome on in, folks. Hope to see you around again in the future. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and happy Snap release day.